This is Suraj Singh, International Professional Engineer, Civil Buildings, RCC, Project Management, Designs, etc. Present before you to talk about management of project engineering, which is very difficult and prominent topic, unknown to engineers in details, and must be discussed from project viewpoint, not from theoretical viewpoint, from project prosecution, from engineering viewpoint. This is a new type of discussion, conferencing, which young engineers, budding engineers who are not very well conversant with that must know about this. This is my identity card issued by Institution of Engineers India regarding fellow membership, which I am holding that in 1981 I got associate membership. In 1986 I got membership, and 2 years back I got fellow membership because I did not apply before. So I am a chartered engineer fellow. I am international professional engineer IPE, and I have about more than 35 years experience in profession of engineering. I put some more documents here for your reference before going to details, and that is very important from this point of view. Documentation is very important, otherwise there is no clarity, means there is confusion, which I don't want to create here, and that's what I'm talking about here. And this is here certain files I put yesterday. Again, I'm just depicting regarding certain briefs, certain photographs or snaps regarding some project I put yesterday. I'll give details again for that, and that is detail here. Start with this is that one. Go to other one. Is this one? All architectural structural details. Go to other one, and that is this one. Many details of architectural structural surfaces and rebars, which are very significant from what point of view. Again, I'm telling because this is important. People are not interested in prepare all plans. But generally in Bharat, they just make 2 or 3 plans and start construction of building without any details. And detailing is very important. Otherwise, work shall be wrong. It shall not be per requirement. There should be deficiency in the work. But building shall be defective. Work shall be defective, not professional. What should be professional? Documents should be professional. If documents are not professional, work is not professional. If work is not professional, engineer is not professional. Builder is not professional. Nobody is professional. Labor doesn't learn anything. Workers don't learn anything. And these are very important issues from viewpoint of engineering and construction and life of building, durability of building. Durability of building very important. If building is not durable, it will collapse. It will sink. It will develop cracks and reduce its life. Maybe you feel I am giving all these details just for your information. I am giving these are all required in field, all required in field. From that viewpoint, I'm giving because without these, you cannot construct project, you cannot estimate project, you cannot, you cannot, you cannot issue tenders, you cannot issue anything. You just waste time. That's what is required. Just for a glimpse, I'm showing all this once again because it's important to understand why we should work hard and where should we work hard. Drawings are very important, very, very important. If you don't do them, you cannot use that in future. You should have maybe buildings 100 years to be used, 50 years to be used. You should have all record drawings. And these drawings which you construct and use for building, these can be used later on also. And these are URLs and lists of file which I'll discuss with you after some when I finish these photographs and this file of this management, construction management. Allow.
Hello, this is Suraj Singh. This is video for construction project management. Construction project management. To Implementation project management. An overview. Not for engineers. It's for engineers and managers. Just forward. Project requirements. This is customers. Customers for modifications. Legal requirements for implementation. Laws. Social needs fulfillment. Project management concept. Project management objectives. Analysis to understand who are involved in civil engineering project management industries. This is part 4. Project stages. Quality, time, risk factors, risk impacts, risk impacts. Procurement, communication, communication continues. Then project stages, stages continue, client and owner, charter formation, etc. Implementation stages, part 8, updates, work changes, payment certificates, communications to stakeholders, engineers communication to client. Part 10, what areas of knowledge has been refreshed. Project requirements, project initiations, project charter, planning for all stages, execution and monitoring. So what is that? Say like that. That is second of all. Thank you.
Yes, gentlemen, good morning again. Welcome back. Here again, I am your friend, project management, which is a big deal, in fact, and project itself is a big deal. We long discussed long back, and we have been discussing based on our experiences. I discussed yesterday with many detailings, many files, many discussions. This file which I depicted you in this video is not very big file, it's 35 pages only, but details are very complicated. Yesterday, I discussed with you construction project management's various issues yesterday and the before yesterday with various titles, and these titles are given in these files with hyperlinks shown, and these are project requirements, reasons, a brief talk, project management concept and its necessity, project management, a brief analysis to understand how to integrate project plan with required knowledge areas, structure, sequences of project management knowledge areas requirements, risk response plans, risk management plan, communication, initiation, project initial charter, constituents, planning, development of project plan, major process constituents, within planning, knowledge areas, integration with development plan, client or owner meeting deadlines to release bid documents, bidder or tenderer meeting deadlines to submit bid, execution or implementation processes, communication channels or processes, involvement by all relevant parties, monitoring and updates, continuous process during project life cycle, lessons learned from mistakes and incorrect decisions, completion or closing and administrative controls. All these chapters are part of this document have been posted, pasted on text part of this video. You can just refer to that place, that location and see all details, whatever are included on this file. But explanations which I am giving verbatim, verbally, after reading this one and what comes to my mind and what basis on my experience are not available there, that whatever I by improvising method think of I speak. And then is a forward paper after the part one, which is project requirement reasons we have already discussed. Then there is a marketing demand, etc. And then after that you go to other one, legal requirements and technological and all that I have been discussed. And if you go to social, let me just read subtitles I can read for you for this part one, which includes project requirement reasons, which is a brief talk and evaluation of society, evolution of society and development we have discussed, marketing demand for all operating unit organizations we have discussed, business need of commercial houses we have discussed, customers request for modifications we have deliberated, technical advances in globe we have deliberated, legal requirements for implementation of laws we have deliberated, social need fulfillment we have deliberated. Then we go to part two, where project management concept and necessity is the title. We have discussed many paragraphs, many parameters. And then go to part three, which is project management objectives. We have discussed about what we understand by project management, and I just deliberated about certain parameters, certain criteria which must be considered, and those were about scope and about one was scope, second was quality, third was time, fourth was cost, fifth was risk, sixth was human resources, seventh was procurement, and then communication. Out of this, we discuss about quality, time, cost, which are very significant part because there's a triangular management, there's a triangular consideration regarding quality, time, and cost, which are very significant factor. We deliberated in details. Then we give brief analysis to understand how to integrate project plan with required knowledge areas. And then we deliberated already on this. And then we go to who are involved in civil engineering industries. We have already deliberated regarding clients or regarding security projects, regarding local self-governments, statutory companies, government companies, public-private partnerships, non-government organizations, petrochemical industries, heavy industries, industries of all sorts, real estate, housing of all sorts, commercial, institutional, contracting companies, private companies or entities, private promoters, private individuals, and others, etc. These are all involved in the directly or indirectly in one or other on all projects, and this is just for reference to you that you should know what we are talking of. What type of projects are manageable? Whereas the government projects, you can say, awarding to contractors. Government projects, the promoters are like this self-through department, means one is government as a client and awarding to contractor, government as a promoter executing self-through departments, organizations executing self either for promotion or to meet marketing demands or to make updates, organizations working as contractors for all classes and all disciplines. Means these are many types of classes. With classes, you can say that what type of projects can be managed. And then studies, there are so many feasible studies and other studies which have a feed is there. We accidentally feed the designs and all that we all part three explain. Part four is Project stages include an initiation. Yes, project stages include initiation, planning, execution or implementation, monitoring and updates, completion or closing out, followed by maintenance and operation. In structure, a scope charter we have discussed, the quality standards for to achieve we have discussed, and time significant factor regarding project stage we have deliberated, and then cost effective all parties involved in the project we have deliberated, risk factors affecting all we have deliberated, risk impacts due to change we included in this deliberation, risk impacts due to change in scope, and risk impacts due to change in quality standards, and risk impacts due to change in schedule time, and risk impacts due to changes in cost, and risk impacts due to partly unknown scope, and risk response plan, risk management plan, that we have already deliberated on that. Human resources, we dealt with the human resources affecting cost, time, manpower, quality standards, cost element, scope, required plans, move in, move out, and motivation, mobility, procurement, delivery of materials. We have deliberated all this at length. And then communication, we have started into communication, we had deliberated on that as well. So a lot of communication was there, which we had done for, we deliberated. Now, after that, we have part 5 project stages we had been working through, and initiation of project charter we had deliberated, and we had gone to planning, development, project plan, major processes, constituents in the planning, knowledge, areas, integration, etc. We are going through that. And then we say project is part 6, process including continued, client or other meeting date line, listen, it has been documents. And then, so we had deliberated that one. Now we are here on charter formation was already there. So we will now discuss, we'll restart at part 6, let us say. Now we'll do part 6, and before that, let me see, yesterday we left somewhere here. It was planning, development of project plan, major processes, constituents in planning, knowledge areas, etc. Yes, well in this place. I'll start from here itself now, so that we refresh previous one. Well, maybe just going to deliberations, dear friends, I'd like to recall what we have discussed so far is all practical oriented, nothing to do with just imagination, hypothetical consideration in this discussion, deliberation, this video. But I understand I have got some experience, you have got some experience, we have got theoretical knowledge from universities, but that theoretical knowledge is not detailed one, elaborate one that can help us work on, initiate ourselves, proact ourselves in projects. We have to learn a lot in field, and if we don't learn a lot, we lose a lot. Field pays us, it pays us salary, it pays us career, it pays us living, and then it pays us knowledge. It is up to an individual like you and like me, individual professional, whether or not we respect knowledge. If we respect knowledge, we respect ourselves. What is profession? We have to understand. Professional doesn't mean just to pass or qualify certain examinations and come out with a diploma or degree or a document, that statutory document that gives a status that you are a degree engineer, you are a diploma engineer, or you are a master's engineer, or whatever you are. It doesn't mandate that. Okay, we respect degrees, we honor that, because without degrees or diplomas, we cannot move any further. This is all hold like that. But after that, I got a degree. It means that I have to start working in that professional field. I have to prove, everybody has to prove that I learned this, I got training of profession of engineering, I know profession, I understand profession, I can move in profession, I can learn additional items, additional knowledge, I can attain anything, any method, any theory that has been developed or updated in addition to what was taught to me in my engineering program. Engineering program is not updated according to industrial developments or field developments. All engineering programs are dated, say 10 years dated, 15 years dated, 20 years dated, because there is no transition very efficiently. It takes time, years. Field is always ahead of time, ahead of theory, ahead of college syllabus or programs. Yet, education is important, academics is important, because you learn your basics and fundamentals and development of fundamental theories and tutorials and experiences, experiments. But you have to learn reality checks in professional fields, When you enter a professional field, does not matter you are a leader, you are a follower, you are a learner. You are a learner having a milestone to become a leader, and having further milestone to become a, you can say, star, like that. So if you think by getting a degree or by getting exposure to engineering, you can lead a project, can you please take that out of your mind? You may be gold medalist, you may be 90% pass out, yet you are not competent adequately per law, per stature, keeping abreast status of developments of engineering field in this era. You have to learn a lot post qualification of your engineering degree or diploma. You have to learn at least 5 to 10 years a minimum to make a reliable engineer. Reliable means reliable is a high degree of definition, I can say. You have to work in a safe manner, you have to work in a service manner, and you have to work in a durable manner. You have to work means your work must deliver something which relate to these three parameters or criteria, because again I am telling you it's an equation, it's an updated equation that reliability is a requirement. We used to speak about reliable is not reliable. We never understood analysis analytically what did reliable mean and what does reliable mean. Reliable means one should be safe, means one should be safe self, one should keep others safe, one should do all safety based activities, and safety includes everything. It includes physicality, it includes chemicality, and it includes environment, etc., etc., and etc. We have to keep everything in natural liaison. Then it is service. You have to provide service, you are delivering service, you have to draw service, you have to avail service provided by others. Every service provided by your own company, from other vendors, from external internal sources, whatever, in house or ex house, that is service you get or deliver. Then there is durability, means your work is not is on spot. It's not just for 1 minute or 2 minutes. Your work depends on your competency and others' competency and what informations are available, what data is available. That is one part of durability. While how you perform that, how you understand that, and how you correlate with others, and how you produce that work on a quality and quantity wise, how you manage that, all these factors keep themselves collectively inside a containment that is called reliability. You can say this is reliable, that you have to make yourself reliable first. Make yourself reliable because you are an engineer, you are not a clerk, you are not a public officer, you are not an administrative officer, not at all. You are not a military, you are nothing, but you are on top of all that you are an engineer. Engineer means a person who is genius. This is the definition of that country from where this engineer word came. So first of all, you have to think and consider and nominate yourself that you are an intelligent person, a genius person. Otherwise you cannot be engineer. And engineer means that you have to think, you have to conceive, you have to develop, you have to work on, you have to construct, you have to manufacture, you have to produce and deliver. And that manufacture or production or whatever it is should be in line to designs, in line to specification, in compliance of all that. Otherwise that is not acceptable. This is very significant deliberation, because first we have to understand what is our role in whatever company you go, or where on whatever project you go. Why we call it a project? Because some destination has been projected, some requirement has been projected, some dream has been projected. Dream of promoter, dream of users, dream of end users, dream of public. One dream has been conceived. That dream requires to be realized, and realization of that dream from conception or conceived stage is known as projection. And that projection gives project, and that project means you have to convert that project, transform that project from conceived stage of drawing board or drawing or AutoCAD page, you can say, on desk or on computer, to to construction and production and assembly of all parts of that and deliver it as a reliable project, reliable item, reliable, you can say, destination, which can be used by those users who shall avail its services for a decades, many decades, and then that decades may disintegrate that project or it may require retrofitting to reinstate itself from where it started. That is what project is, and project should be taken very seriously because it involves cost, not rupees or dollar one or two or rupee one or two. It involves billions and billions and billions. So it must be given due weightage so that it is delivered as a quality item. In that way, and from that consideration viewpoint, you have to consider yourself also as a project because you are production of certain university or certain college who stamped you as you are a graduate or you're above that, or you are an engineer, you are engineering personal professional. You have to prove that you are an engineer first of all, and that is what is another project. You have to prove yourself, and you can prove yourself that you are a competent by delivering a project. And every project is in academics in way, and tech and academics as well as experience and tutorials in another way. Every project teaches you something, a small project or big project. If you work for a project for 1 year or for 2 years or 3 years, whatever, depending on the size of project, you will learn many things. Suppose for 1 week, you, in addition to your daily working, you learn 2 hours a day or 1 hour a day, for example. In one year you learn 365 hours. In 1 year you learn keeping and you 1 hour additional learning, you learn about 365 hours in a year. And 365 hours, if you spend in college 6 hours a day, means in a year how much you would spend there. Similarly, in 2 3 years experience, you get another diploma or degree. You update yourself. That is called professional engineering. That is called, in addition to professional training, you got experience, and that is known as expertise of profession of engineering. This expertise that you have to learn, and without that learning, you cannot go further. You have to stick your degree, keep that as your master direction, then you will be failure, because degree is not a document that mandates that you are an engineer. It's a document that mandates that you can stand on that front and learn and move, learn and move, learn and move, and keep on learning and moving till you get your milestone destination. I am explaining it just to make you understand that, take out from your brain that you are very intelligent, because you have to be intelligent. You are not intelligent, you have a capacity to be intelligent, to work intelligently, and intelligent has some meaning. It's brilliance. Brilliance also has some meaning. Intelligent means you think, intelligent thinker. You are a thinker. You are not a duffer. You are not, as you can say, we call it in the Mati Kapu, the statue of soil. You are not a statue of soil. You have brilliance in you. You have electricity here, electric light here. You have to use this light, update this light, increase its power. When you increase its power, you will increase your capacity. When you increase your capacity, you have competency. And competence is legal capacity and reliable capacity and accountable capacity and everything like that. This I am explaining because of my personal experience. You just compare what your knowledge was when you were in diploma or in degree or post graduation. Compare that knowledge of your level of understanding, your level of grasping power, and after 10 years when you are somewhere, what you learned that time and what you feel now. You can understand difference between that. What was your value that time? Say 5 value that time. Now you say I am 25. There's an increase in 5 level to 25 level, means 20 upgradation has been there. When there's a 20 rise from in how many years, you can say per year how much you're rising, what potential you're getting every year, and that is called experience and expertise. Because you are rising yourself, you are upgrading, you're going a higher curve. If you don't do anything, it will be 5 to 5 or maybe 5 to minus 5. Means you lose everything. Therefore, I say this talk is a part of that. We call in profession continuous professional development. They call it, term is CPWD, which is an international term. This term is required because now international professional engineers Before it was EMF, Engineers Mobility Forum, now International Professional Engineers Association, IPEA agreement. It is an international agreement where many countries are involved. There is a charter of that. The agreement is that these countries shall have acceptability and recognition of professional engineers and international professional engineers, keeping in view certain gets quality criteria is there. Define what should be a person, how you should select it. If you comply with that, it's called a professional engineer, an international professional engineer. There's a measurement of a competency. It doesn't mean that you get a crown here. No, if I'm international professional, I mean that I have passed the test regarding certain competency which I must possess. I must have that level of competency that is defined by that body, this international agreement body, that I should have this requirement, I should comply with that, I should pass that, and I should be well received by those world people who understand what that competence is. If you have that, you are called professional engineer or international professional engineer, and that is what you are. It is a competency only. It is not a power. You need not prove again and again that you are a qualified person, you are a skilled person. And this is what we are improving. We are trying to get more and more about field of engineering, and it is serious field. It's no joke, it's not comedian field, it's field because you are involved with giving work. You are spending on any project with few years for designs or few months for designs and few years for construction. It's a serious one. You have to work 10 hours, 12 hours, 13 hours every day. Depends upon profession, what the project it is. Means you have to work at least 10 to 12 hours a day for months, for years. Then only you can deliver project. You have to deal with hundreds and thousands of workers. You have to deal with many staff people. You have to deal with vendors. You have to deal with sub-vendors. You have to deal with clients. You have to deal with governments. You have to deal with. Yes, there are so many complications here. So many links to people. You have to learn and you have to work. At the same time, you have to deliver and you have to raise your competency, you raise your level of knowledge, your attainment, and that is what we are talking about. This is called continuous professional development. Every day you learn something, every day you teach something. You can teach to those who are not your level, you can teach to your juniors. It is your responsibility. You cannot say, oh, you have to teach. This is part of your job, this is part of your ethics, that your junior should know from you, learn from you, and you have to give credit to junior. You cannot give whole credit to you that I am project manager, I am project engineer, I have done this and this is my credit. You cannot claim like that, because project activities are being done by collaborative efforts, not by you're a director there, you're an engineer there. You can tell them why, because you are getting information from some documents, from drawings, from this. You are also not giving details from your own. You are not all in all. You are one of all. Designer is there, developer is there, planning engineer is there, expert engineers are there, quantity engineers are there, other engineers are there. Many people are there, and you are one of them. So you are not independent. You are also dependent on this side, this side, this side, this side. All side you are getting information in. You are interpreting the information, coordinating the information, and putting into place work done based on that information. There's reason. It's a part of learning to you. You are teaching to others. You are teaching them. You are learning. It's called education, practical education, virtual education. It doesn't relate to certification. It relates to your expertise, your project, your knowledge, and you can learn and learn and learn. And you remember, if you have, that time when you used to appear in an interview after passing your engineering degree, you were very nervous and oh, I don't know anything about this. But after a few interviews, 2, interview 3, interview 4, interview 5, interview 6, yes, you had different type of level of confidence. And maybe after 5 years, 10 years, you say, oh, I know, I'll take interview. What from there? No care, we'll appear in interview. And when you appear in interview, you instead of being interviewed, you interview the interviewer. It happens because it is competency. It's not that when you appear in interview project manager, you have different type of exposure of questions, and you appear as a project junior engineer is different type of question. It depends on your mastery level of your learning and all that. I'm just telling you because you have to do like that. And yesterday I was discussing about the game. Today I was triangle, and there's many. This is very basic. I was asked this question many times, so I'm not sure, but I just say yes. There's a cost, there's a quality, there's time. First point is time. In every project, time is fixed. This and this, start and completion, like this. You cannot change it. You have to start date. You have a fixed date of completion. That is practical completion. I just explained to you now. Start date, practical completion, final completion. Start date, Practical completion, maintenance, and final completion. These are fixed. Fixed, you cannot change. Because time is fixed, budget has been approved because of this time, there is money fixed for that, fund fixed for that, you cannot change it. If you change it, fund changes, requirement changes, money changes, and because of you, if there is delay, you are liable. Why you did not produce, deliver this item in time? This project owner who relied on you to get this delivery after work is done expects you to help him run his business, but you are delaying. You may say this reason or that reason, but you are involved. It's your responsibility to solve that reason, or who is responsible to solve that reason, resolve that, you have to force that person to do it. Time, again I'm telling you, is first criteria. You cannot comply with time, you are not an engineer, you are not a project manager, you are not a promoter, you are useless. If you don't value time, you don't value anything. So time is top criteria because it impacts cost and use of structure of that project. Then it comes quality, time, cost and quality. Time and cost have been discussed to an extent time is concerned. Quality. You maintain time and you say I'm running fast because I have to keep time ends together intact, and that is the reason I am not doing quality 100%. This is a wrong statement. An absolutely wrong statement. Unacceptable requirement. You cannot claim I am working rapidly because I have to contain my time fixed and accept it. No, quality has to run simultaneously at same level. If you do not do this, you have done nothing right. You cannot hold one factor of times. I manage this. I don't care of quality. No, I said triangle. Cost, quality, time triangle has to remain fixed. These 3 points are very, very related. Other points may have some different opinion, different considerations, but you cannot impact time, you cannot impact cost, and you cannot impact adversely on quality. Because if quality is impacted upon, if it's substandard or second grade work, your work is rejected or it is devalued if it is usable. It may not be having same value as it was intended for. You have not done job. You have not done profession. You have done a vegetable market. You create this project is not a vegetable market. It is no fish market. It's a project. You have to maintain it. It's like a gun. You have to do it. I kill you. It's like that. If you cannot do that, get yourself off site, off project, and let somebody competent come here. Who will say you have done 8 hours or 10 hours or 20 hours a day? No value at all if you are failure, if you are not fully successful. Your accountability lies on all these. You have to sleep or not to sleep, that is your problem. You have to eat or not to eat, that is your problem. It's your time. Nobody is asking, come 1 hour do this, 1 hour do that. No, it's your time schedule. It's your time. You are a manager of this project. You are an engineer of this project. It is your responsibility to work engineering or work construction and deliver project in time. If it's your responsibility and accountability, you have gone through all these documents, you accepted to work that. If you are not accepting that, in fact you are a businessman, you are supporting a businessman or a promoter, you are working a partner of a partner, doesn't mean you should get percentages, but partner in the sense of delivery means you have agreed that you will be paid this much and you deliver this project in this time according to the contract requirement. And that is very important. If you don't value time, cost and time and all this, you are not valuing yourself, you are degrading yourself, your services are not to that extent as required, you are not a competent person, you are not a consistent person, you are not a reliable person. And that's what I have to say, and this is very important consideration from this point of view. So we'll say that let's go to in addition to this, which I explain, we'll explain this further because this is a very important point, and this can be raised in any interview where you go. You may ask this question, and you must have a ready answer to that, but you have to explain also. In that one, I just refer to one interview it happened with me. Actually, I once appeared for an interview for Saudi Arabia. It was in 2010. I just appeared there, and it was for project manager. I I I contemplated that I should appear for project manager that time. It was a hospital project located in Jeddah, and it was about 500 beds hospital, general hospital, about 500 or 400 million grams that time. I didn't know in details when I just appeared in. Guys were there, two, three hiring people. They asked me which position you have appeared. I told him, I just said project manager. I asked him which position. They told me this position, this position. Okay, I'll apply for project manager. Are you project? Can you apply for project manager? Why not? What's the problem with that? You have given only that you don't have any MBA or in that in your curriculum vitae. You have not mentioned that. You have mentioned only this professional engineer, or whatever you are. I asked him one question. You expect me to be PMP or MBA to do this project? No, why not? What's the problem? I asked him, you better raise any question and let me answer. If you are not satisfied, don't appoint me. You think I am now, you expect me to go to college and do MBA after having experience of 30 years? You think so? 25, 30 years experience in engineering field, and you expect me to go to college to do MBA? Is it right? You raise me questions, I will answer. He was a little irritated types. Okay, he was an engineer actually, big engineer, some company. He gave me some question. Okay, give me organization chart of this project. I didn't know project. He said, what project I asked? He said, it's a hospital construction and this is 500 bed hospital in Jeddah and we want, how will you organize it? It's an organization chart. Okay, give me paper. He gave me paper and I was just in 10 minutes I draw and chart this and then, oh, take your time, take your time, told me. No, I just put it there. They said that. You have taken this, oh, where is that? I know it's there. Is that it's there? He interviewed me for about 1.5 hours on that auction chart. He raised many questions and very cross questions, and there was not even a single question which was not responded well, according to my knowledge. And I did that. Believe me, it was long interview, argumentative interview, and I was selected. And then he said, I need this person first, send him first. Don't send others. And first one to follow is there because project is held up and we want a project manager first. Then send other people. Similar questions were asked, technical questions and management questions, workers questions, technical questions, in an organization chart related questions. You see, what I am saying is, I'm not saying that I did a wonders there. It's all experience. That theoretical knowledge works when you have experience. If you don't have experience, your theoretical academics has got no meaning. That will support you in your work, but experience is more important. You should know what you are going to do. Even if you do design, or you do construction, or you do planning, or whatever you do quantification, or you can do whatever you want to do, consultancy. Experience is a must in every subfield of professional engineering because experience is above academics, always above. Unfortunately, people in our country, Bharat, India, they don't value, they didn't use to give value to experience. For them, certain degrees up to doctorate are more important than practical knowledge. And that was a drawback in our system. Still, it is there to some extent where people think degree is more important, but for me, knowledge is more important. Degree is a requirement. It's requirement in a case that they should be sure that you are a qualified person, you are academically qualified. And if you are academically qualified, means you have broad mind, you have developed mind to understand something, and you can understand engineering, and you move yourself here. And it does good means academics plus theory and plus empirical experience and experience are two high level significant requirements to become a dynamically working engineer or engineering personnel. That's what I said. So take it that way. It is kind of earning and learning. You can compete when you know. You can talk to people when you have knowledge. You can argue with people when you have knowledge. You can conduct meetings if you have knowledge. If you don't have that, you cannot do anything. You have no power to argue. You have no power to question. You have no power to logics, and you have no power to coordinate activities, coordinate works, coordinate all, and you have no power to understand value of money, finances, value of time, and value of quality. If you want to get all these statuses and all these characters, you have to learn, learn, and learn. Even if you are big, you learn. So planning, development of project plan, major process constituents within planning, knowledge areas integration with development plan. Yesterday we had reached some certain level. I just repeated for recollection. Planning duration we had discussed, planning duration, scope review we had discussed, and verification, schedule of missing information, contract review, deliveries listing, deliveries milestones, listing of sub projects, project milestones, impact of liquidated damages, long lead items, major items on project. Yes, major items on project, decision about sequences, decisions about overlapping activities, work breakdown structures, work packages, detailed activities, activities quantifications, time allocation to activities based on resources or resources driven time allocation, allocation of dates, allocation of direct resources, application of indirect resources, resources labeling, formation of histograms and escrows, application of material and activities based unit rates, cost, and number of man hours, number of equipment hours, permissible variations in hours, probability of fast tracking impacts that may be successfully applied, calculations of sub-project cost, calculation of project cost, budget estimates, planned progress histograms or curves, planned inflow of incoming payment certificates, cash expenditure based on planned progress, profit or loss forecasting, procurement plan and schedule, material approval schedule, drawings approval schedule. So now we are left somewhere here. I can say calculation of the cost was discussed. It was then budget estimates, planned progress histograms. Yes. Now we will continue from here in elaboration. Probability of fast tracking, as we discussed and deliberated yesterday, was that remember that fast tracking. What is fast tracking? Fast tracking is a philosophy, is a, you can say, a method how to save time on project construction time. We have to save. An example we had given regarding precast slabs on cast in situ columns and beams. Generally, what we do, if we do all cast in situ on site, means all services we provide for RCC, structures cast in situ, it takes a lot of time sites. So what fast tracking says, you make a yard somewhere and do casting work there, pre-casting work there, using advanced technology, machines and equipments and yards, and use steam curing there itself, it's autoclaving, and you keep all slab parts ready. Whereas you on site construct in situ all foundations, excavations. Of course, you have to do all foundations and superstructure columns and beams onto which these precast slabs would rest. And this gives you saving time because you don't have to prop all slabs. You have to prop only supporting beams. You have to prop only columns in superstructure as well as substructure and footings, etc. Whatever is there in foundations, and then transport all those precast equipment, precast slabs to site, raise them to required floor, and after setting bearings on beams already constructed, you just construct thin slab to be induced as diaphragm slab on that one, and structure slab and framing is over, and this repetition can be done to any level. This is a method that is called fast tracking impact, fast tracking method, saving time of vertical members, and we say there may be 15 days requirement, 20 days requirement for props to be in case of cast in situ, and which time you save, because you are not doing that. You are just pre-casting those slabs in your yard and curing them for few days. After that, these are ready. You just transfer and erect them by using cranes or whatever else. And this calculation of project cost. Fast tracking, this is fast tracking, and you can find methods or different structures differently. So successful is this. Calculation of sub-project costs, then calculation of project cost. When you have found out all these parameters, all these some bases which are required to reach this sub-project cost and project cost, you can compute them and budget. You can form real budget, practical budget. Not budget which was used in tender stage or bid stage, but this budget which is going to be practically spent or incurred on all these activities. Then planned progress histograms. I'm now jumping to plus planned project histograms or scope. What is histogram? What is curve? We have done all planning. We have done planning of progress, planning of percentages, planning of human resources, and planning of equipments, and planning of whatever is required. We just project them on histograms, and that constitutes like S-curve, like this. In bar charts can be there. Can be bars in vertical shape or curve can be there. That's what we do, which is just the technological requirement, which is just a projection requirement. And then plus jump to planned inflow of incoming payment certificates. That's very important, which is related to expenditure, is related to cash flow. We have to see our plan in such a way that incoming flow of money after work is done, that's called site work valuation or project valuation, depend in relation to work done, and money that is going to be spent on that must balance to certain percentages. I'm not saying they should balance 100%. Bank will help you if it's not work, but to a maximum extent they should follow. I'm getting this much because when I plan this much and money is going out this much. That is what is called cash flow. If your cash flow is managed, it's balanced in certain limitations, the deficiency is there that banks have to compensate when banks fulfill that. So planned progress histograms or curves, and jump to planned inflow of incoming payment certificates. Incoming payment certificates means once you get incoming payment certificate certified by engineer, bank gives you facility to issue overdrafts against that. If you don't have these certifications issued by engineers and owner, though payment may come after some time, it doesn't matter, but you have a guarantee that this payment will come, and that is called monthly payment certificate. In often cases, every project gives you monthly payment through contractors, depending upon whatever percentage of work, provided there is no condition in contract that minimum payment to be made is this much. If you have not worked to that level, you will not be paid, and if you have to work to that level and above, you will be paid, and that is called certification of valuation of work done. And that certification of valuation issued by owner and engineer is equivalent to a money check. You can go to bank, deposit, and see this will just give me some more money. I want for this project. That is what it is, and it's very important. It's not that easy. It's not that difficult. If you work, you will get it. If you don't work, you delay it, you will not get it. So simple and so easy. So this is cash flow related to your certifications of payment. Then we go to cash expenditure. This is also same related to this one. You have to spend on cash in line to money coming in, or use overdraft facility or bank loans to do further work on cash expenditure. Maybe you got letter of credits, maybe you got LPOs, you get another international facility if your items are imported. There are so many financial instruments which can be used for purpose of procurement, and procurement already deliberated about. So cash expenditure based on planned progress, and jump to profit or losses forecasting. Yes, profit or losses forecasting. We are saying projection of losses or projection of profits. Now, first of all, this projection of profit doesn't mean that this is final profit or final loss. And we are talking current or in coming 6 months, or whatever balance of time of project is left. We have to see if cash flow is not smooth, if there is a problem in cash flow, or we have certain disputes on projects, our payments are held up, or we are not getting timely payment. In that case, our expenditures may be more on certain items because we cannot stop project first of all. You cannot stop project as a contractor. There is no such right. Even engineer cannot stop your project, owner cannot stop your project without assigning any legal reason. Because if your project is stopped by certain reasons, first of all, delay charges are there, time is wasted, everything wasted, contract is impacted upon. Nobody has got any right, even government or non-government or engineer or contractor, to stop any project. Suspensions are there, suspensions order can be released, but it's not for your happiness or for your pleasure. It is under compulsion if that is required due to many reasons we will later on take up. Now, you are just comparing profit and losses. These are indicative profit and losses. You will say, I am getting this much money this month and I'm spending this much money this month. There's a difference. You can say this is moving profit or loss. It's not permanent profit loss. It's not a concluded profit or concluded loss. It is just manageable one where you need more support. You is indicative of that final profit and loss is something else which cannot be computed during project running stage. So it's only forecasting, it's not real. Procurement plan or schedule. Hmm. Procurement plan or schedule which jumps to material approval schedule. Now you have agreed on all materials. You have agreed, you have reached a stage where you have decided as contractor or as a department runner, if government project is there, that you can buy, procure all items, all materials required on this project in line to contract requirements. There may be 150 items, there can be 100 items, there can be more depending upon civil engineering discipline, electrical engineering discipline, mechanical engineering discipline, and all other disciplines which would be included permanently on project. Why I am saying permanently? Permanently and temporarily are different issues. When we submit materials for approval, in fact, these are for permanently inclusive material, a material which goes to any project and cannot be taken out after it is done, that is called permanent. For example, RCC is permanent, toilet is permanent, WC seat is permanent, doors and windows are permanent. All these material which are part of contract, part of building, which are not temporary, which are not ad hoc, which are not preparatory, those are called permanent inclusions. And if something is required to prepare something, for example, if for concrete, shuttering is required, formwork is required, or you can say supports are required, that is called preparatory materials. And for temporary work, scaffolding is required, for example, access to site is required, for example, something else is required, that is named as temporary material. What we are talking is permanent material, included material, included on project for which you shall receive payment, and that shall give you completion of job, and that is called this one. So these materials, when we are ready, all permanent materials, we have to write in a format, online or offline or hard copy, that we this is our proposal according to list of matters provided in contract or otherwise according to compliance of various international and national codes. These are our proposals. These are, and we submit that for approval to honor through engineer or through resident engineer or whatever official is there. Then we get approval of that material, or if we don't get approval of that material, we get back approved with comments or rejected. This happens, but material submittal is a must. Without this, without approval of material by owner and by engineer, you cannot procure, you cannot place order for procurement. This is what contractor demands, contract demands. You must understand this. Without proper formal approval, if you place order for procurement, it is your risk, it's not contract risk. you will at loss, and you have to understand that you cannot go to loss. All right. So procurement plan you have to prepare to satisfy what you have worked for, and you have to procure plan in a way that yes, we make submission for approval, we get approval. After approval, we get 1 month for placing orders, and then for delivery period is this much. Like that, you have to chart out schedule and submit during progress. Review meetings as progress updates on materials. Material approval schedule, that is called material approval schedule, and then jump to drawings approval schedule. Both are same. Why I am saying this? You see, when we are studying, we should study in details as better. We have all details with us regarding material. See, material is one part of resources. Workforce is another part of resources. These resources are a must, and then technicality is another part of resources. So, human resources we cannot submit for approval because that's already decided based on our plan what we need. So that doesn't. Yes, of course. When we bring people to site, when we procure them, time is fixed according to schedule. In this month, we need so many classes of people of this category and strength. In this month, we need this, and every after a quarter, we need this. That is given on indicated on our bar chart plan or project plan of whatever level it is, up to 5 levels. But materials also are to be projected in, because if metal is delayed or not brought in time, you cannot do anything. If you have people on site, workers on site, you have technology on site, you cannot move ahead. That is basic problem. So material says by meantime. I am not saying material demands I should be there on site. Sorry. Material requires that you bring me to site, procure me to site on this date, or else to suffer. So we have to answer to material. Okay, we plan a chart, we make a schedule, class wise of material, this class is this material, this material, this material, and this should be on site based on schedule date of activity. And before that arrival date, delivery date, not only delivery date, approval date, means we have to approve deliver materials before including that on works. So this gap, this date of delivery and that date of a workout of material, in this period we have to complete all processes of quotations of materials, with offer of materials from vendors, scrutinizing our offers from vendors, have negotiations with them, see all financial conditions of their supply contracts, and when we are satisfied with 2 or 3 quotations, we finalize, and after that we get all records from that vendor, make submissions of material to client and to engineer, and get their comments and approval or rejection or whatever it is. And once it is approved, that day only we are in a command to formally issue procurement order locally or internationally by LPO or by letter of credit or by some other means formally, respectively. All materials should cover all these acts, all these procedural requirements. There may be 150 material, there should be a list of 150 material in same pattern. This is a date of submission, or this is date of quotation, this is date of negotiation, and this is last date up to which we have to decide that this material we will submit or include, and we submit that for approval, and we have to take submission date and approval date, and then placing order date, and when delivery, expected delivery date and real delivery date, that is called material submission and approval schedule, which is also a big document, and it is very reliable document to direct all personnel on site what is the status of that, and every month this requires to be updated. Same thing applies to drawings. On every project of buildings, there are hundreds of drawings, not one, not two. Here you get one architectural, two architectural drawing and you do it. No. I have seen many thousands of drawings in certain projects. Many thousands of drawings. There are various classes of drawings: layout plans, site plans, heat plans, schematic plans, architectural plans, structural plans, services plans, coordination plans, structural detail plans, reinforcement bar plans. There are so many standard details, standard plans, procedures, specifications, project specifications, general specifications, international standards, national standards. All these are called contractual documents, contract documents, and these demand a combination of these demand that in addition to your contract drawings or your tender drawings, you must have produced, you must produce what? Produce real drawings. A drawing that shall be given to a foreman to do work on site, that is a working drawing, and a drawing that is given for design and for work for workshop fabrication, that is called shop drawing or fabrication drawing. These drawings must be detailed, not simply line work, but must be adequately designed and detailed so that a person working on them, using them in the professional way, doesn't find any problem from execution point of view. That is these drawings. So these drawings are schematic drawings are given to you, design drawings are given to me. You have to produce working drawings, you have to produce shop drawings, you have to provide other details, and there will be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of such drawings without which you cannot do site work. If you send a schematic drawing to site, no use. If you send drawing issued by consultant to site, no use. You have to convert to working drawings standard, working standard, you can say layman standard, line management standard, is the workshop standard. That's what it is. Then, if you say, drawings approval I discussed, then staff mobilization and demobilization schedule. Yes, project has been awarded. You are working in your office, home office. Lot of work is going on. Lot of work in all departments. But you have to mobilize site. You cannot keep site pending more than 30 days after award. That's the condition. There's a condition that if once you are awarded a project, it's not a joke. You cannot sit for 3 or 4 months. Oh, I will do it. No problem. There are two years. It's 2 years project. There's 3 years project. There's 4 years project. I will start after 6 months. I will start after 1 year. No. Contract says in general that once a project is awarded to you, you get a letter written with that you start immediately, and a time of 1 month maximum is allowed for mobilization. You have to submit site plan, you have to submit site location plan, you have to submit how will you establish your site, where shall your manager sit, where shall your engineer sit, where you provide office for resident engineer or government engineer or other engineer or consultant engineer, and where shall be conference hall, where shall be offices, where shall labor stay, shall stay in general labor camps, or you will have a camp around site. Many requirements are there. You may have a big camp on site if the project is very big. So life camping is required, or you can say residences are required, or whatever is required. All that needs information, and for that mobilization, you have to be ready before starting or kicking off work. Once you kick off, you cannot kick in. You have to kick off and move on, move on, move on. So you have to start sending initial workers to site. For example, is in one foreman with 4 or 5 workers with him to start working on site to do mobilization activity, which takes at least 1 month or 2 months, which gives an impetus, which gives a background to you to prepare site to such an extent. That's called preparatory work. To such an extent, when more people come to site, more crew members join site, they spread in a way that time is not wasted and start working for temporary works or for permanent works or for whatever works. That is this called. It's a problem, nice, you know? Okay. You can't tell me. Staff mobilization and demobilization schedule. There's a schedule which require demobilization. You have to the same one give when they shall leave site. That's called demobilization, and they can leave site only when their activities are over, job is over. Now jump to type of project organization recommendation plus critical execution problems. So type of project organization. Now project organization, you will see again and again explaining. It's required. You have to learn this. Sorry. What is an organization on site? First of all, we have to understand that site organization is not permanent. Site organization is only for contract duration, means for a period when date of start comes in and when we hand over site. That is called contract duration or project duration. And in that duration, there will be many, many stages when people shall come to site, workers shall come to site and go, others would come and go, then others would come and go, others would come and go, which we have seen in mobilization and demolition plans. But organization is what? How site should be organized? Who will organize it? We have our own standards. Every company has a standard. Every country has a standard. Means there is a person called project director who does a project organization. Project director, project manager, who takes care of site, who is accountable to site, who is obliged to work on site, who is obliged to deliver that site. That is project head, you can say. Who is accountable to head office or corporate office of this company or government, whatever is there. Then he has to be supported by various discipline engineers and discipline managers. All sections, whatever, are included on contract permanence. And that is prime organization is a top management organization where project manager or director sits along with head office link, and there are many supports to him, advice on same level. Then come down to construction manager or other junior level managers or senior level managers, and then further down and down and down to all covering all departments, quality department, safety department, and construction department and planning department. All these divisions are there on site. With further tree down, there are junior people, intermediate level people, and all that. That's how project organization chart, and it can vary from time to time. What doesn't mean once fixed in beginning should be the same as end. It can vary, and it should be varied. That is project organization chart. Is a graphics, and maybe you know all this. Even then, it's necessary to be told. So, project organization, have we discussed? Now, well, I think you understand all that. We have gone to critical, type of project organization recommendations. Yeah, this is what I discussed. Type means what type it is. There is can be smaller one. There can be one manager, or there can be 10 managers. There can be many more people. Design section, safety section, as I discussed. So this is all gone. Plus, jump to critical execution problems. Critical execution problems. Competency of personal suggestions. Now, critical execution problems. What are those? What is first of all execution? We have to understand that. Only then we can understand critical execution. Execution means you have given a job, you complete details, you prosecute them. You will say, why are you talking prosecution? Prosecution is not a criminal word, it's not a legal word only, it's a practical word. You have to prosecute project. Prosecute means you have to do what project requires for. Simple. You have to do that. You have to prosecute and execute it. Execution is yours. You have to design, you have to plan, you have to work out, you have to arrange materials, you have to arrange workers, you have to arrange resources, you have to arrange vehicles, you have to arrange each and every activity required on that, and that is called resource management. Then is resource management is human resources management, resources management, then there is technology resources management, and there are other management requirements which you have to do. You have to bring them together. You cannot say today I do this, tomorrow I will do that. You have to arrange people to liaise with that. I'm not saying you do directly, because it is big. You have to get it done for purpose of execution. If you do not do that, there are critical activities everywhere. If you don't do one activity, sometimes other activities held up. For example, you have to do superstructure work. If you don't finish your grade slab and your foundations or substructure, you cannot start superstructure work. You cannot start slab work. You cannot start other works. And that work may be related to someone else, something else, depending on the project. And suppose that building which you start is getting some feedback from some of the services on ground. Maybe this is service building, or this is water treatment building, or sewage treatment building. It has some piping in from somewhere else. This is critical clash. You have to analyze that. That's everything cannot be done in isolation. You have to do clash solution. You have to do clash conflict resolution, and you have to see that money should be used in a way it doesn't lose. You don't want repetitive work or rework. For that purpose, you have to analyze all activities in vicinity of that location, which is coming in service, which outgoing service, which is incoming work, which is outgoing work. If I do this work, shall it not obstruct in future for that work? All this requires to be seen. And there is no way out. You have to do that. Even at cost of other items, other works, you have to do that. That is critical conflict resolution. Means it is a must if you do that. That's what I said. Okay. I don't know what's happening. Well, no problem. When you is fighting this work, maybe it's lack of sleep. Hmm. Hmm. Let's go further. Hmm. So critical execution problems. Then we jump to competency of personal suggestions. Competency of personal. Yes, it is very important and significant. You may say a person has been appointed must be a competent one. Yes, you are right. You can say, but don't forget, every person appointed is not necessary to be competent, because the authority who interviewed that person may not be competent, may not be know just by they negotiate some salary, they also experience that CV and say, okay, come on. It happens because those human resources professionals from those companies, they do not know everything, but they want to interview. They just want to give less salaries and appoint subcon or can say para competent or less competent people. You should not forget that on contracts of major projects, there are certain contractual requirements that we want project manager of this level. Criteria of qualification is required, demand is defined there. And it's not only for project manager, for all management personnel or key personnel, they call it. Key personnel means who have key of this project, means project manager, construction manager, safety manager, or quality manager, procurement manager, or on-site responsible people who are dependent, who are key, who can only move that project further by collaboration, by collaborative efforts. That is what it's called. This means owner or engineer of that project has got have got legal right to know, to ensure that right persons have been recruited for this project, who can lead this project to its destination, to its delivery, to its realization. That person, that owner or his appointed engineer have a right to ascertain, to make sure that you are suitable, you are well competent to meet criteria defined on this contract to achieve, and you are suitable person for that. And if so required, you can be you can be interviewed or examined by that engineer or the owner whether or not to be considered or rejected. Test can be done, interview can be made, and for every key personnel, not only for you, Again, I'm telling you, project manager, project director, in place of project manager, construction manager, senior project engineer, sub discipline engineers, etc. All these personnel come into line of this contractual obligation and contractual requirement. So competency of personnel has been defined, means they should have degrees, whatever required engineering degrees and so many years of experience, and whatever else is defined must satisfy that. Means it depends upon project to project. It's not simply what I'm saying is acceptable. There may be other criteria which should be considered. Formation of optimized organization chart. Hmm. What is formation optimization chart? You may say, just I said in the 15 minutes ago, do this, do this, and this is safety, this is okay, that is outline. We are now talking about inline. What shall we do? How many people we will keep? What qualification we will keep? That must be projected on detailed chart. And that is what I'm saying, that formation of optimized organization chart should be done in a way that it should be at least valid for 6 months to 1 year. You cannot every day change people, not possible. You have to bring people, you have to use them, but you have to use them consistently. It's not like that today you come, stay there for 3, 4 days, go back. Okay, for once or two, it's okay for purpose of visit of site or some reason. But for working on site and deployment of site, you need different type of classes. So formation of optimized organization chart, then jump to integration of various sub projects or projects to formulate or produce programs. Yes, you have to integrate all those details which you have prepared. Integration of various sub projects or projects information to formulate or produce programs. You have to join all these details. Join doesn't physically join them. Join in your philosophy of working. You should know what to do, when to do, to whom to talk, not to talk. This is what is required. Or produce program. Then you have to produce program. Of course, program is produced, and that program you have to comply with on this project or on every project. Otherwise, there is no meaning of plan. The conferencing proposal among management. Yes. Jumping is conferencing proposal among management. Do you understand this? You have programmed everything. You have complete details now regarding human resources, regarding equipments, regarding materials, regarding your chart out style, charting out style, your complete documentation, your from charter onwards to all quality, quantity, etc. Now you have to start this project, but before that, you have to involve all people in your company, come together, have conference, sit down, listen to them, speak yourself, tell what you are going to do, tell what people should do, and explain to them what they should do and they should avoid. That is conferencing, brainstorming. It's not simply conferencing, it's brainstorming. Because one man can do that, but if there is another man of equal competency, then there is another man of equal competency, you can get his mind. You can get mind of all your personal, your reliable technicians, you must have their mind. And that brainstorming is done. There may be maybe many reasons what you should do, this floor washing or no, your home dry washing or no. Likewise, you can say that I need this person of this competency or no. You have to select out your approach and fix people for that, because then you have to get their approvals. That is very important. Then we go to, after submissions are over, confirmation proposal among management, approval and authorization from management. Yes, whatever we done, we have done, whatever document we produce, whatever we do, whatever we always shall we produce, means everything must be approved by project manager or above that before sending it to client. So approval and authorization from management is over, plus making submission to client is over, plus project costs of finance planning and project organization planning. Project organization planning also we have to do it. Just like charts, we can do activities also. Activities. Project organization planning. Then we go to project quality planning. Then we go to project safety planning. Then we go to project system planning, and then we go to project communication planning, and then we go to project risk management planning. This is all planning we have to do. Already we have done plan. We know quantity requirement. We know time requirement. We have schedule. So project quality planning can be done. In this period, we know this, and similarly for materials you can do. Similarly for you can say organization you have to do. Because we have different data at various stages of project, relevant to material, relevant to personal, and relevant to whatever it is coming in. Project system planning, yes, it is all system. Once you organize this system planning, you have to do that. Means there is a sharp mind requirement from you. Brilliance is required, contemplation is required, your method is required, what you want to do. And that should be on paper or on written or on your computer. Everything must be there. So project organization planning, finance planning, project quality planning, project salary safety planning. Yes, safety again I'm telling you very important. Project system plan, I'll give you some titles of safety in this for your reference only. For example, I go back to some file and I'll try to extract that page, which is very, very important from this point of view. If I can, I will one day find that. Let me say management registration, management documents. It is management documents where it is gone. Oh, I have find for my title first. Yes, it's management documents. Management monthly expenses. Management. Where is management documents? Management documents are here. And book plans. And this year's I got it. HSC book. Yes, I read for you titles only. Now I was talking of safety. What requirement is there? Let me just tell you. For example, I'm talking about a construction project safety first. This is industrial construction project safety first. Let us say it is building projects, construction projects, civil plans safety first. Just first, but I will read and then leave it. Sorry, you just don't let me listen. Oh my God. Yeah, yeah. Why is not working? Yeah. Construction projects have been required since times immemorial. More than 50% budget is covered on development works which involves construction projects pertinent to all types of engineers from all disciplines work on such projects. Millions of workers contribute to such development around globe. Engineering has been very significant world to successfully deliver our such projects. This is a basic thing, and that is what's called construction project safety first. In this safety first, and there's a complete paper here, safety first, long, and it is there. And it contains this contains some chapters here. Points are real, and those points are related to these chapters. Chapter is safety policy. One is safety policy, followed by management system, and then we will take up this all as safety talks. Now I am just telling you for a reference, maybe you have some question. And this is only title I am explaining to you. Safety first policy, safety policy, management system. What system management follow? And site security, that is also important. Site security is employed on site and particularly those regions that are susceptible to such safety. Site safety, safety policy, management system, site security, hand tools, first aid regulation. I'm just going to read titles only, not full. first aid regulations, permit to work, housekeeping, safety training, emergency and evacuation plan, fire protection, PPE, which is personal protective equipment, excavation safety, control, storage and use of hazard, just control, storage and use of hazardous material, and then incident reporting, lifting, rigging and hoisting, radiography operations, night working, scaffolds and ladders, temporary electric supply, welding and curing, where it is, yes, control of storage and use of hazards, incident reporting, lifting, rigging and hoisting, radiography operation, night working, scaffolds and ladders, temporary electric supply, welding and cutting, working at height and fall prevention, abrasive wheels, abrasive wheels, no? And construction of environment control, hazards control, confined space entry, confined space entry, road safety and vehicles operations, reward system, compressed compressed gas cylinder, heat stress, safety practice, then disciplinary and enforcement, safe work, inspections and audits, plants facility project, construction safety relevant sketches, safety related sketches. Okay, these are only I wanted to tell you what I discussed, and I discussed about this in my in my in paper, and then that is a book actually which I wrote in this book. We talk later on. Safety is very significant on projects, though it's a boring subject, but it's very responsible subject. We have to take care like that. So I just move further. So we have just done about safety now, what safety should be, then making submissions of these all documents to client. Now project cost and finance planning we have done, project organization plan done, project quality plan we have done, project safety planning we have done, project system planning we have done. All these are systems, What we're talking is project communication plan, very important. Project risk management plan, project closing plan, details and boxes, suspensions, planning, etc. Part 5 is this. So in this discussion, in the elaboration, actually, we have discussed different sections of project, different criteria of various criteria involved, just to move further. And until these are resolved one time, we cannot move project. We will delay project. And this is the reason people are not interested in such construction activities. Because why should we work that much, they say. And then they suffer that there are the salaries. It's bad. You have to work. You have to think with whatever resources we have available. If something is old, say still some item is old, and they take out. Yes, it should be managed first. You can simply say ignore it. You cannot ignore it. On every project, everything is important. Safety, engineering, sky work, you can say leaf work, all is necessary. All are necessary if you want to win. Hmm. Yes. I'm feeling easy little. Okay, making submission to client, project cost, finance planning. You have to submit all these for approval. Whatever you prepare, material preparation, drawing preparation, safety data preparations, safety plan preparation, quality plan preparation. Whatever you prepare, you have to get approval by owner as well as by your management and do that. Then project communication plan, project risk management plan, project closing plan, dealing with works suspended plan, planning demobilization, defects, etc. You have submitted all plans. Hmm? Then communication, big problem on project is communication. How to communicate? Habit has been developed in a bad fashion now. I want to talk to you about communication, which is really a changed world. When I was young, we used to communicate in writing, everything. We used to write to consultants, we used to write to engineer, they used to write to us, we used to contractors, and we used to write to all those stakeholders indirectly or directly involved on the project, and because of whose efforts, project could be delayed if money doesn't come in time, if there is salaries or these expenses. Communication, there was easy in those days. I'm not talking of now. I'm talking in those time where there was no computers. People used to write typewriters, use typewriters, use that, or they just simply tried to using hand or had simple formats and used to just do some internal entry and submit that. That was sort of communication. But now communication has virtually gone. Everybody talks on phones, mobile phones, but everybody writes mails. Good, everyone does that. Of course, it is fast. Don't forget that it is a contract. That is main point. You are not going to buy milk or vegetable. You are not going to buy. You are cannot condemn. You cannot condemn this communication. Verbatim, talk to one, meetings, contract meetings, technical meetings, other meetings, talking to people, vendors, talking to government people, talking to all those. What you talked, who shall remember? If you think moment of recording, you are talking something, that guy is talking something, but you both are right, how shall one remember? It is not rememberable. People cannot remember like this. You have to make everything in black and white on papers that people understand what is it. If they understand that lack of communication may cause problem in future when records are required. Young people don't care about that. Don't forget you are young but you shall become old also. In case of disputes that can occur on any project between client and between contractor or someone else, there can be disputes and these disputes regarding resolutions in arbitration. If there is a contract and contract is a must, that there should be arbitration. If arbitration is there, people think that their money is safe, their investment is safe. So that arbitration activity you must learn. There are various arbitration is there. Our control is there, PI control is there, Shastri control is there. Then various IAS control is there. You may write email, you may write, you may speak, you may even issue paper, you can issue refund. You can do whatever you want, but remember, you have to be there sometime. You should be there all time. All record must be available. If you are writing mail, mail is available. Don't delete this. If you are sending non-mail letters, okay, also help that you are, if you are not helped, that person will have to respond to you. So communication must reach in time 0 hour. Hmm. Without communication, you will failure. Communication is of those part of knowledge areas, so starting from scope, quality, time, and material, and then further going down. Communication, good communication means you are safe. If you are missing communication, then you are making problem for all. You may be senior or maybe junior. That doesn't make a difference until you can do a job. Only difference between you and senior is or that person is who has more responsibility because that person has delivered responsibility. So far, you failed to deliver. Right? So don't take communication for granted. Communication of each and every activity. For example, what is happening on site, you are recording that, you are submitting report every day, what material you got every day, what problem you got every day, how people are behaving, how you are behaving every day. Only communication is which is not recorded, throw take it, bulk it and throw it. That communication is fine, but that is not for us. That is not for actually us. Now go further. Communication, you can understand what I mean. You have to plan communication in a way that suppose you classify this email who will look after, this planning who will look after, who will communicate. There should be a person to communicate to resident engineer or to engineer. There should be a person to communicate to promoter or owner. There should be a person to communicate to site people. Such kind of communication are essential, and that is what you have to have. You have to give details. These sub departments, this sub this person can do. That is final. You should do that. If that person doesn't do that, you cannot employ him. Simple. So communication planning is very different one. Then project risks and management planning, risk and management planning, and there is project closing planning, dealing with works, suspension planning, planning demobilization, defects remedial planning, and project maintenance planning. So you see, all plannings are coming in. Everything is a plan. So we plan doesn't mean a big naksha or something like that. No, you have to just chart out on paper, a tabulation form, like bar charts or like tabulation structure. In this month we need this. If it is material plan, if it is the workers plan, in this month we need this class, this class, this class, this class, so many numbers, so many, so many. Simple. If this is communication plan, you have to write this report is this in this month, this report, in this week, this report, and this person is responsible for this. Very simple. Communication plan you have. Then you have finance, you can say that the cash flow. You know how much bank is paying without any consideration on credit scores, and your credit score is not that much, so it has to be taken care of. That is what I said. So for every section of planning, working, mobilization, demobilization, defects, project maintenance, planning, etc. So this was a part of that which I left yesterday, and nearly we have taken part 5 to some conclusive stage. Now we will take another part. I come back to part 5 after some time because I wanted to say more. When I couldn't take more, it's a problem for me. So we will say part 6, which is project stages or processes include continue. Sorry. Hmm. So we are now in a stage where we have entered into middle of project management world. We are not at initial stages. We are not now young kid. We have grown up in our talks, in our deliberations. We have tried to know and we have successfully learned what are involvements on projects, what project desires us to do for that. That much level of clarifications, understanding, transfusions of opinions have been generated. And even though we did not take interest in listening, but at least 20-25% interest that someone is taken, shall understand what is required by that person or from that person on projects, which is very important. Project is not one day job. It's not 1 month job. It is a job of years and crores and billions are expended. It's like a lifestyle. If you have worked on 10 projects or 15 projects in your life, is you have spent your whole life on projects. So your nature would be that. Your status will be that. You will not like to sit in office. You like my own project. It's good for me. I stay comfortable. I don't involve in family and that. Right? We have learned what responsibilities are there in projects. We have learned how projects are managed, who is responsible for what capacity one has, one reliability one has. This is all we understand very well. We have only understood a track, a small track that we can move on this, say up to 20%, 30%, 40% length of project construction. But because we didn't know about this when we were too young, we live life. There is a life cycle on our project. Every project has different nature, different understanding, different constitution, different constituents, which must be generated. Hmm. Now we'll go to further expenditure on discussion. Project stages or processes include now initiation, planning, execution or implementation, monitoring and updates, completion or closing, and administrative controls followed by maintenance. This was our initial. Now initiation and planning are affected by both parties, right? Initiation and planning are affected by both parties, client or owner, and bidder or contractor, as defined in foregoing. In addition to those constituents of various processes, both undertake certain processes. Let me see whether this is something. Yeah, okay, no problem. Initiation and planning are affected by both parties, client or owner, and bidder or contractor, as defined in foregoing. In addition to those constituents of various processes, both undertake certain processes. Anyway, so client or owner meeting deadlines to release bid documents. Now we are coming. We have gone out of contractors arena. We are entering higher arena, which is called client or owner meeting deadlines to release big documents. I can't explain maybe today, but just I read through this and explain tomorrow. Let me read it for you just so that you just have awareness about this first. Feasibility studies. This is our client says. Feasibility studies plus jump to budget provision plus jump to FEED documents plus jump to bid contractual documents giving general and special conditions plus jump to definition of risk such as liquidated damages plus jump to definition of technological licenses plus jump to definition of transfer of titles for all procurements plus jump to design criteria or philosophy plus jump to safety requirement documents plus jump to quality requirements documents plus jump to bid engineering documents plus jump to bid specification documents, that was engineering document specification documents, plus bid bill of quantities, invitation to bid, then plus jump to bid processes, and then jump to bid coordination and clarification, plus jump to bid acknowledgements, and then jump to post bid negotiations, plus bid rejection or award, plus if awarded and if awarded, plus jump to appointment of contractor, plus authorization of engineer's powers, plus sorry bid rejection. Where it was? Yes. Sorry, yes. Design criteria, philosophies, safety requirement, invitation to bid, bids process, bid coordination, clarifications. Wait a minute. safety requirement documents plus quality requirement documents plus bid engineering documents plus bid specifications documents plus bill of quantity. So these are left, I think. I'm sorry. So let us do it again for your betterment. Maybe some error there in talking. I missed some line. Feasibility studies plus budget provisions plus fee documents plus bid contractual documents plus giving general plus and specific conditions and definition of risk such as liquidated damages plus the definition of technological licenses plus definition of transfer of titles for all procurements plus design criteria or philosophies plus safety requirement documents plus quality requirement documents plus bid engineering documents plus bid specifications documents plus bid bill of quantities plus invitation of bid in addition to bid plus bid processes plus bid coordination and clarifications plus bid acknowledgements plus post bid negotiations areas plus bid rejection or award plus bid award or if awarded plus appointment of contractor plus appointment of formal notification of engineer and resident engineer and authorization of engineer powers plus delegation of resident engineer powers and constitution of project supervision team and if bid rejected invitation of bid again that could amend. Okay, this is what I said about clients or owners acts on a sequences of contractual sequence of project expectations. These I just told you we'll discuss later in details because I don't have much time for explanations in this regard today, and I'll take up later. I just want to inform you that we are just currently doing this now. I have to do for bidder also. Bidder or tenderer meeting deadlines to submit bids. Bids is not easy job. It's very difficult job. Bid preparation takes years and months and years, many months and years. Bid preparation. This is done by engineer, by owner. On other side, there is a bidder or tenderer who shall become contractor later on. Don't think this job is small. You did a lot as engineer or as owner's representative to prepare bid documents. You did a lot. But that lot has to be reviewed and done by contractor. In a way, first of all, because contractor is responsible, contractor has to do job and contractor shall not do wrong job. If by client attitude, by client mistake, wrong step has been taken, then you know what happens. So bidder has to be very careful, and I'm just going to tell what bidder has to do at least. Okay. Charter formation. I discussed in beginning charter. Charter formation process plus response to bid documents plus bid may or may not be suitable plus in case unsuitable deny bid and return documents to client. This is for contractor, for bidder. What should he do? Right? In case unsuitable, you don't want this bid, decline and return documents to client if so required. And in case suitable, if you think it's good, right, respond to client for submission of bid. Right? Bid coordinator announcement plus proposal coordinator. Bid is also proposal as well. We call it proposal also. Proposal coordinator announcement plus bid team members plus announcement in organization plus mail circulation to all members, and specific bid folder in intranet sharing. Intranet, in networking of any department or section in a company is called intranet. Whereas when we use our mails on web portals, it is internet. There's a difference. I'm talking intranet, company's internet. So bid coordinator announcement, proposal coordinator announcement, bid team members announcement in organization, mail a circulation to all members, specific bid folder in intranet, sharing server, specific bids. Then bid coordinator announcement, proposal coordinator announcement, bid team members announcement in organization, mail circulation to all members, plus specific bid folder in intranet, sharing server, plus bid time schedule plan, and attendance of pre-bid meeting with client, raising doubts on bid and its provisions, and clarification on total scope, plus design issues probabilities, talks of an alternative bid in addition to original demanded bid, then site visit with client and engineer if already appointed, reporting visit and meeting details to sponsor or owner of organization and boards, etc. And various meetings for bid involving estimation manager and complete bid team, and invitation to quotes from relevant vendor as listed. Let me see if there is single. Let us see is there. No, it's moving. No problem. It's moving. Okay. Yeah. Various meeting. Okay. So it was reporting visit, site visit with client and engineer if already appointed, plus reporting visit and meeting details to sponsor or owner of organizations and board, etc. Various meetings for bid involving estimation manager and complete bid team, and invitation to quotes from relevant vendors as listed, and invitation to design vendors if EPC, right? And formulating bid in software used, plus computation of quantities accurately, invitation to quotes from relevant vendors as listed, plus invitation to design vendors if EPC, formulating bid in software used, computation of quantities accurately, rates formation, rates formations, comparison of quotes, coordination and negotiations, uh, coordinations and negotiations with possible or prospective vendors, coordination with possible subcontractors. This is complicated actually. Rates formations, comparison of quotes, coordination and negotiations with possible or prospective vendors, coordination with possible subcontractors, producing technical bid is important. Producing technical bid point is bold. Producing technical bid, we'll see. And contractor, technical bid, I was talking. will follow a commercial bid. So I'm talking technical bid, which is very important. Technical bid means technical. Understand what's technical? Execution statement, safety, health and environment plans, quality plans, manpower histograms, equipment histograms, possible vendors list with options, possible suppliers list with options, possible designers list with options, design statements and design hours, specialist services documents, time schedule, camping and lodging, site establishments, warehousing, laydown areas, site controls, site management, project manager, project leader, possible team, key personal CVs, organization, administrative documents, capacity of bidders, previous project records, value engineering on project on in case bid is awarded, balancing bid amount, balancing bid amount, yes, balancing bid amount, marks up, conferencing on parallel bidders or rivals, generating their weak points in this bid, innovative technologies to be so balancing bid amount, conferencing on parallel bidders, you can say generation generating their weak points in the bid, innovative technologies to be utilized for alternative bid submissions, bid review by sponsors, final documents submission, electronically bid submission in hard copies and soft copies are required. Again, I will narrate part 7. These explanations are very long actually. I cannot take up in half an hour this one. We'll discuss it. Next step is now I will just read what is next part. Because first we should know what we are going to do. We should set programs. So I have about 40 minutes more, 40 50 minutes to just speak. Let me see how much can I go in this. Part 7, project stages or processes include initiation. This is page number 20 of 31. Still there are so many pages to go. It's a long process. Project stages or processes include initiation, planning, execution, implementation, monitoring and updates, completion or closing and administrative controls, followed by maintenance. Execution or implementation are also affected by both parts. Client or all owners and contractor both undertake certain processes directly or indirectly to meet scope of contract specifications. Execution or implementation processes. Client or owner meeting deadlines to release contract documents through engineer duly executed legally and contract documentation. Award of contract. This is now client is doing. We are asking now. We were doing contract, not client. Award of contract declaration by appointment. Award of contract declaration by appointment. Issuing letter of intent. Definition of contract dates. Definition and the extent of liquidated damages. Adjustment of prices in agreement with contractor. contract amount or price, announcement of engineer designed as contractual, definition of powers and authorities of engineer, announcement of all specialist engineers. Hmm. In case engineer is from client, engineering department, announcement of consulting engineers, date of kickoff, still wait, kickoff meeting, dates by which all contract documents be raised, issued, appointment of date of site handover to contractor, dates by which remaining scope drawings to be issued in case of construction contract, final time schedule requirements for initial presentation and priorities, list of list of certain projects areas, dates by which other project plans are required, dates by which design documents are required, requirements of mobilization plans, requirements of execution method, statement, requirement of engineer's office, location in contractor's premises to surveillance and monitor contractor's design team, requirements of performance bound from contractor, requirement of third party insurance, and requirements of documents, release of any contractual permitted advance come against bank guarantee, bank surety. Now we'll go to just for narration purpose, for discussion purpose, contractor meeting deadlines. Let us see what the status on this. I am a little lazy today, right? Because I could not take rest. I could not sleep last night well, but yet I'll continue. I will not waste time. Meeting deadlines to submit various deliverables as part of contract performance. Receipt of contract award, inspection and review of all contract documents, kick-off meeting, announcement of project reference, authorizing project budget, authorizing project manager, constitution of project team, cost control code circulation, project development plan drafting, meeting with engineers, consultants to discuss strategy of planning, site visits, site talks, site takeover, appointment of contractual start date and proposals for various vendors and subcontractors, submissions of proposed key personnel to engineer, consultants for approval, mobilization plan, submission, site surveys, site soil investigation for validation of soil investigation reports, provision of all site offices, provision of all facilities, site fencing, site watch and ward, site fire protection prevention, labor shelters, labor camping, transportation, food, medical provisions, safety provisions, submission of safety plans, submission of quality plan, submission of property project management, sorry, not public project management plan, submission of quality plan, submission of project meeting with plan with various submissions, various submission methods of procedures with engineer consultants, communication channels or processes, involvement by relevant parties. This is really Communication, as said before, very significant part. Following processes shall be effected regularly during execution at defined activities, internal for initiation as well as for update and for revalidation. Records of all live services. Records of all live services, drawings from statutory or local bodies, review and diversion procedures of all such services, plus dissemination of project scope to all relevant personnel and vendors and correspondences, site memos, site instructions, engineers instructions, electronic mails, phonic discussions, confirmations, curriculum vitae approvals, general meetings, minutes, contractual meeting minutes, specialist meeting minutes, coordination, meeting minutes, foreman meeting, technical meeting, videos, videos, conferencing, video records, computer records, work photos, vendor submissions of approvals, the planning, schedule submissions and approvals, regularly and organized chart and job or role description mm, of various personnel, budgetary costs, or relation chart plus job or role description of various personnel and budgetary costs, engineering design deliverables, submissions, review and approval, material submissions, approvals, drawing submissions, approvals, general foreman reviews and approvals, inspection approvals, all documents and drawings approvals, designer. I think I have to cut today. Engineering designs, yes, planning schedule submissions and approvals, regularly organization chart, job and role descriptions of various personnel, budgetary costs, engineering design deliverables, submissions, review and approval, material submissions and approvals, drawing submissions and approvals, general formal reviews and approvals, inspection approvals, then all documents and drawings approvals, registers, technical queries, engineering queries, documents, center controls, working and shop drawing issues, all site issues, daily records of works, concrete records, cube records, formwork records, rebar records, reward and reinforcement bar records, structural steel records, all stores records, laboratory and material testing, material testing records, laboratory and material testing management, engineering training scored as method statements, staff personality development and team building and upgradation, progress management and monthly payment certificates or valuations, all quality management, records and filing system, quality training records, all HSC training and execution records. Space 22. 1 minute. Let me see what the status. I think I'm not very efficiently giving you today this See, generally it's only 2 hours and 14 minutes, and I think I should stop here because I'm feeling drowsy today. I don't know why. Hmm. Let me see this. Laboratory and material testing management, engineering training records, method statements, staff personality development, team building and upgradation, progress management, and monthly payment certificates or valuations, all quality management records and filing system, quality training records, HSC training and execution records, all like accidents or injury records, safety drill records, the toolbox stocks, start card, prevention from hazards, keeping site tidy, safety incentive awards, safety walks, best engineers and foreman award, best workman award, all changes on works, all red line, all red line marks up, all built up drawings as built drawings. As built drawings and I have taken start card here already. All red lines, right? Best Workman Award, all changes on works, all red line lines, all best added lines, all dossiers, all data sheets, all sealed documents, all involved certificates, all known compliance records, all remedial actions records, punch list inspection and records, and site walkthrough records, snag records, and their implementation, defects records, rework, requirement records, rework inspections, removal of major defects, lessons learned from mistakes, quality audit reports from external source, from internal source. Then there's part 8, which is the stages of part 8 is there. It's about, I think, 23 pages we have covered, but we have to see again. So I think we should take it later on better because I am unable to concentrate. Yeah. Well, we cannot take up all chapters in one day. That is not possible. It is after all project management. We have to understand each point, each activity, how it should be done. If you don't understand, conceive it properly, there is no meaning on speaking words and talking words. Because ultimately it is our job. We have to deliver real value of project. We cannot simply go where I am talking and you are talking, you are listening. I am just giving an indicative idea what should be done. Don't comply with this if you don't know. If you are not sure, don't do this. If you are sure, do this. Make sure. I am only a guide. I am not working for you or you are not working for me. We are not working on the same project. I am not your boss and you are just a friend. It's just it's just communication. You can say a talk how to do something, but how you would do it depends upon you. You have to know it, and I know it, and I tell you, I know it's something. You may not know nothing. Maybe you agree with me, you may not agree with me, but project shall not wait for you or for me. Project waits for people to come and do that. You may change this, I don't know. You can. It's up to you. If you are sure that we have a different method, different approach, you can do that. No one can stop you. To an extent, you comply with contract provisions, technical provisions, and commercial provisions. And others who just come in between, they just spoil everything. Project should be taken as a destiny if it is a project really. You can get a chance of project once or twice or thrice or 10 times in life, but you don't forget you are not boring first of all. You are keeping yourself busy, you are keeping updated in engineering, you are drawing up your character. Many international personalities know you, right? Well, I think I have to close down. I'm not feeling very talkative this time. It's already 2 hours, 15 minutes. And. What do you think? I think I'm not getting much feedback because of this. Once again, I'm telling you, if you are not sure that you will be able to deliver building projects in a professional manner, better either join in lower position, in junior position to learn, or don't take responsibility in higher position if you are unable to do that. Because any item, just like I used to say, if concrete is defective, if concrete is effective, it is very expensive to redo concrete. It's very difficult to redo concrete. But if it is defective, it is not easy to do. But if it is good, it's fine. However, now I'm closing this at this stage. I shall continue tomorrow or day after tomorrow or the day, and we shall sit together with fresh mind. I think I am on my way to you to have interaction in future, and I'll just give my I'll just give my reference again for those who did not see last references. I'll give another credential also for your reference. I am already international professional engineer, and just brief you about my few of my projects, a glimpse of that, which I did in my career on oil projects. Just a glimpse of that. I just you really have. So this is that one. This is a onshore project, onshore ethylene plant, 600 kTA. I was there on this project in 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003. Processing area. This is offsites. Supporting area. Substation for electric supply. Long building substation. These are LNG tanks. I was there in 1995 or 6, I think, maybe it's 5 or 6. I don't exactly remember. This is a electronic record building of onshore plant. Administration building of onshore plant ethylene project. This is overall graphics, and fire, fire tower. This is the gatehouse and administration area. This piping in that area, plant area piping, going to flare tower, and the depths of plant. This all I have taken from Google Earth. This is seawater basin, which was used for storing cooling water that was circulated to various machines, various vessels, various areas in trains, process trains. This big one. This is circuit, key plan of process circuit. It's not side circuit, process circuit, technology circuit, process technology. Now I'll go to something else also, just to keep you informed about myself. It's not clear. I think. Go to something else. Yes, it's there. This was the building on which I worked, high-rise building. In 1982, I was there for 1 2 years in Baghdad, Dar Al Thawra Press Complex. It was very high quality work. Jordan company was a contractor, United Engineering. I'll show you something. Somebody came to me, bring me some soil and see what dirtiest soil it is. It's clay. I just put some water in that soil and in a glass because I did not go to laboratory. See the status of water in this soil. And they were using it for foundations. Clay soil, only clay soil. And people don't understand. You explain to them, they will not understand. You can see that. It's a glass container having water in soil. I just dissolved soil in that water, and this status of settlement was allowed. complete clay, but people don't understand. You cannot teach them. And you see the status of area here. Rubbish, all dirt here lying in this area. And you see worst conditions how people construct here. See, these are called rubbish projects. See, there is no quality at all. No quality at all. It's locally, I'm telling you. I just took photographs on my own. You see how rubbish work they are doing. You can see that. There's no quality, no at all, no shuttering quality, no concrete quality, no nothing. No one supervised that this rubbish going on here in this country, our beautiful country. I'm just projecting to just to let you know means what we are doing in this country and how we are working. No one took care, nobody is serious. They're just working for sake of working and forgetting bill and that's it. You see quality, rubbish quality, yeah, I don't know, stupid quality. These are covers casting. See quality there. This is drain along railway line, which is sewage, you can say. This is what is happening in the smart cities. Waste and waste and waste. You can see all plastics lying here and there. You see, this is gobar. This is tidy side, you see. This is rubbish everywhere. By chance, I just got this and showed to you because this must be clear to you what people are doing. And I show you a building where they are just adding columns wherever they want without any logic, without any construct, without any technical meaning. Just they go on adding columns where they want. You can see this. They are adding column where they want. Don't care for required or not required. Just add anything here. Just add anything anywhere. You see they are adding here. You see this is a column here, here, here. Required or not required, they just do it for purpose of this. No reason, nothing, no requirement, just do anything. What mission says, what they want, no structural consideration, nothing. Just go on doing this. See, it's happening, it's really displeasing and very, very astonishing what's happening here in this world here. I don't know what actually they want to do, what they want to learn, and what they want to show. It is gone, disappeared somewhere. I don't know where it is. Anyway, I'll continue if I don't find that. It's my certificate alone. And this I could not show last time. This is my one of my certificates, which was not shown last time for some reason. And this is what it is. Chartered Engineer India certificate. Just for your information. I don't find that just now I got it and just for showing you. There's no sequence at all, but no problem. This is institution of Genius here. This is Chartered Engineer India is written. It's not written Chartered Engineer India. And another certificate is there. I will show that. Because sometimes you don't have this, and sometimes you have this. And this is fellowship liquid here. Certificate of fellowship, fellow membership. Just for only information, I'm telling you, not necessarily in this video, because I wanted you should know everything about what person talking to. So I'm going to do this back again for this architectural structure drawings. Very, very important. You should not forget to be a civil engineer if you are, or even mechanical engineer. You must know all this. You can argue somewhere, where are these drawings? Why are not having these drawings? This is for your own betterment. So anyhow, I have given some information regarding this for purpose of just informing you that what should be done. I'll take leave now and I'll continue giving this information in future and next video, and I'll say that I'll close it now. It's already 2.5 hours more. I'll give my again this cover up. I'm just using this for information that I'll meet you again sometime, maybe day after tomorrow or some other time to be with you for this purpose. And for the time being, this time I'm closing it. And thank you very much, gentlemen. Namaskar. Bye bye. Good luck.